plays games with Steve.
All right, see, what's the new gimmick this time? You have to think of something, and we have to commit to it, unless it's really annoying.
Something we're really gonna commit to.
Let's do that dance voice you did from Soul Calibur. Come on, let's dance.
I haven't done that in so long. Let's see if I can.
Dance.
Dance! I want to dance!
There we go. That's
And
what it is.
everyone's like, never mind. I ain't listening to this shit today.
Yeah, I'm not listening to this.
Goodbye.
I'll skip this episode. What's the gimmick today, Steve? I've decided every Fire Red episode from now on needs a gimmick.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds, and you have to think. If you just literally.
Is there some sort of generator online where we could do like a pick between like two things, like it's like this or that? I don't know.
Like a would you rather thing?
Yeah.
Well, there are would you rathers.
Would you rather questions? Let's see.
That's what we're doing today. I mean, we can. I'm not opposed.
The way you asked is so.
That's what we're doing today.
I wonder if some kind of just like pick between this, like, oh, do you like?
Oh, you can just say those things. You don't have to generate it.
But then it's like, oh, would you rather eat this or that?
No, it doesn't have to be would you rather eat. Like, it can just be what do you prefer, blank or blank. I don't know, like okay, like a famous one. Not that I read much Archie comics, but Betty or Veronica.
Veronica's the black-haired one, right?
Wow, you don't even bother answering it. Yes,
Yeah.
Veronica's the black hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
The reason why I ask is so I make sure.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Veronica.
Yes. Yeah. So Veronica?
Veronica.
Betty for me. And I don't even know them that well. I think I just like blondes.
I guess I just want to be bullied, you know?
Isn't Veronica the rude one, though?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But she's like rich. I don't know. I never read.
Yeah, the same here.
I never read Archie
I read
comics.
Sonic Archie comics.
Right. Okay, so I did a this or that. Now you gotta think of one.
Okay. This or that.
And you can't just be on your phone the whole time. Use your brain.
Use my brain.
Use my brain?
Beef or chicken?
I mean, it's beef for sure, because I think like the worst chicken is like chicken breast sucks ass. Like, it's just bland as shit. Obviously, any cut of meat can be done well.
Yeah.
And of course, you can have a good chicken breast, but most chicken breast is not very good. It's just the compromise
Good
of
for
like,
you.
good for you, sure, but like a thigh is so much better in every possible way. Like, so like a chicken thigh is delicious almost always. Chicken breast sucks, whereas a beef,
It's not white meat. You can have some really dry white meat.
exactly. I feel like the highest of the highs of beef, like the best ribeye or really good Kobe beef or even just really good brisket,
Yeah.
that just completely trumps even the best chicken. And I think chicken can be really great. Like, you get your fried chicken, you got your, roast chicken. Like, it can be very delicious. And I think chicken's skin is great. And I love dark meat. But I think the ratio you get of, like, consistency of, like, good chicken to bad chicken. Whereas most beef, I'm like, this is pretty good. What about you?
I'm gonna say beef just because what you just said. The best beef dishes like just trump like the best chicken can do. Even though like fried chicken is amazing, and
Yeah.
you can't do like fried beef like that.
Right.
But I like a really good steak. It just trumps like the best chicken dish, or
Yeah.
just like even like in terms of like say like Mexican food. I think I think beef is like a really great filling. No, like
Chicken's good, but I agree
yeah.
with you. I think I do prefer like beef and like pork and other things
Yeah.
in Mexican food. Yeah, I think for me though with chicken, I've definitely come around more on fried chicken. I feel like I always liked it fine, but I think in recent years I've been more into it.
it's so good.
And like I feel like we've been kind of having wings semi-regularly lately, and it used to be something where I was like, oh, it's too messy, but now I'm like, fuck it, they're good. I just want to
Yeah,
eat something off the bone.
I love wings. Yeah, wings are great like event food.
Yeah.
Okay, you think of one.
Let's go with. Let's see. Cake or pie?
You know, I think this is where we're gonna differ. I think I'm a cake guy.
Okay, I'd like to hear it.
I think it's just a really good texture for me. Like I like that mix of sweet, but like that bready. I don't know how to say it, but it's just like that cake kind of feeling. It's
Cakey.
just cakey.
Yeah.
I really like it. I feel like cake is not a popular food item. Like I almost feel like there's no point in getting cake for a party anymore because no one eats it. You're always stuck with like 75% of that cake.
Yeah.
But I regrettably have a huge sweet tooth, and I just like cake. Pie wasn't like a really big thing in my family, you know. Though like pumpkin pie, like we always get pumpkin pie like Thanksgiving and stuff like that.
Right.
And hell, I do like pie. I definitely do, but I think I'm just more of a cake guy.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, since I don't have a big sweet tooth, for me, the desserts I really gravitate towards are very texture driven. Like, and for me, pie crust is just so delicious, and like, just especially you put some ice cream on that shit. Like, oh, it's just the like contrast between crunchy and like the sweet ice, like soft ice cream, and it just all comes together really well. So and also pie was not something I ate as a kid. Like we didn't really get pie as much. We always got cake. Cake was always the thing. You got birthday cakes, things like that. And then I had pie. I was like, holy shit, pie's fucking amazing. Why have I been eating cake? Like it's okay. Like, and there are good cakes, but it's probably.
I think in terms of baking, you could fuck up a pie much easier than a cake.
I wouldn't know, but
same here. But I don't know. It's
a
pie has to hold together, and that's like if its contents are like fruit and stuff, that is like sometimes it could get too watery or something like that.
Right.
I wouldn't know. I didn't try, but I've witnessed it.
Sure. Yeah, the one exception is a Carvel ice cream cake is the fucking shit. I love that shit so much, but that's because it has cookie crunch. So it's like it doesn't even really count.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Why did Team Rocket hire a magician
for their party? They got cake and a mime and a juggler. They're like, Giovanni's like, well, you got to boost morale, right? You know what's funny is that's kind of the Giovanni in my RP, right?
Yeah.
He was like very like kind of like a pretty good boss. He's doing bad stuff.
Yeah, it became very hard to be the hero in that story. And it's like, oh, we're paid very well, and we have benefits. And I'm like, well, fuck me, I guess, you know.
Shit, I get. Well, but it doesn't justify their illegal actions. Juggler Dalton
became
a legendary hero in our RP. Yeah. So in
because I think we asked the same question, like, why is a juggler here?
Yeah.
And then we wound up just completely reinventing that character and turning him into a vigilante.
Right. So yeah, and when they stormed Sylph Tower in my RP, tabletop RP, they encountered a room that was filled with like beat up rockets, and they had all had like fucking baseballs just been thrown at their faces, and like they were just knocked out. And I was like, yes, this is the work of the legendary juggler Dalton, and he became just a fucking Robin Hood like mythical figure in the party's lives. Like they all want to be jugglers. He's the #1 badass in my tabletop game. And just a lot of this just kind of stems from just silly improv jokes, but we commit, God damn it.
Yeah. We commit.
Exactly. Okay, so I did cake or pie. Your turn. poison just drains the fuck out
Yeah,
of you like a
it
fucking
is
like
no joke.
Kool-Aid burst.
All right, here's one I can mind. I don't know.
Sure.
Flying or road trip?
Oh. You're talking about
In terms of like, what do you prefer to travel? It's more like flying. Like, do you prefer just being taken care of and getting there quicker, or do you prefer a road trip?
how are we talking cross country? Are we talking about a place that
Cross country is extreme, so let's
Right.
let's say like
because obviously cross country I don't want to do a road trip, right? So are you saying maybe like the difference between like, for example, you could drive to Vegas,
Yeah.
or you could literally just take a
fly
flight and
there,
hop
be there
over.
in an hour. Yeah.
If something is close enough, I do like driving there more because I do think it's kind of fun. It can be part of the experience.
Yeah.
If it's pretty far, so that I guess the question becomes, how long does it have to be of a drive when you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna fly instead? Because Vegas is how far? Was it like 3?
Like 3 and change,
3
like
and change?
4 max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's totally doable. But like, how far is say like San Francisco from here? That's pretty far.
San Francisco is like 7 hours.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's when it gets like a little like, okay, I don't know if I want to be in a car.
Drive up the coast, drive up and down the coast. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, but what about you? What's your limit?
I would say like
Because I think we're both on the same page. Like, we like road trips if it's, you know, a reasonable length.
I would say like I think maybe 8 hours maybe is my cap.
Sure.
It really depends. Like if there's like it's like I don't have to take if I don't have to take off like a day for work or something like that. What's great about road trips too is you kind of go at your own pace.
Yeah.
You have way more personal. Even though you're in a car, you have way more personal space.
Sure.
You could take breaks whenever you want.
Right.
You know, you could listen. Yeah, I mean, you can listen on headphones on a plane, but like you could have conversations in the car.
Yeah.
I don't know. Oftentimes I feel way more relaxed driving than I do flying. Especially for me being a big guy, just being squeezed in.
Right,
Like,
right.
Sometimes it's rough.
Yeah. Like, I don't like flying. Like, nothing about it is, like, particularly enjoyable.
No.
It's really just about convenience
Yeah.
than anything. I guess I'll... since everyone's dead, I'll just keep this up.
No, Geodude's good, because ground is good against
Poison.
Whoop, not for long.
Yeah, but not for long, yeah. Okay. Let's see. What scares you more, an earthquake or tornado?
Never really.
You didn't really grow up in tornado country, did you?
But tornadoes, like, just hearing about them as a kid, like, scared the crap out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I've yet to, like, all the earthquakes I've experienced are usually pretty short.
minor, yeah.
God, I feel like an earthquake, at least, maybe there's a few more safety precautions.
Uh-huh.
In terms of a tornado, you could just be fucking picked up,
Well, yeah, that's what basements are for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what if that whole house just gets taken right up and then just
And you can send off to Oz, yeah.
yeah. I guess I'm gonna say earthquakes just because I just have a little more experience.
Yeah, I would say earthquakes too. As someone who grew up in tornado, yeah, they're kind of scary, but I think the potential of damage for an earthquake is a lot scarier. I feel like with a tornado, you kind of can just go in the basement, and I mean, I've never had a thing where my house was destroyed by a tornado, fortunately. But I guess in California there are more precautions, right? Like,
Yeah.
supposedly it's more prepared here, right, for this kind of thing.
Like I said, like infrastructure and the way buildings are
Right.
built.
Do you ever think about like the big one?
I try not to.
Yeah.
Because there's not going to be time to prepare.
Right.
It's gonna happen,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna like shit myself.
Right. But it's like you don't know where it's gonna be, right?
No,
That's the thing. Yeah.
and I don't think I'm prepared enough. But
I don't think anyone is.
Yeah.
Like no one. It's really just kind of an interesting thing. Like I will think about it. Like sometimes we'll go for a drive, right? And I'll see those houses that are just like on a fucking cliff.
yeah,
Or whatever.
Oh,
And I'm like, because I think Anne Marie was like, oh well, we don't want. Why don't we get like a house in the hills? I'm like, fuck no. Like, I'm sure maybe those houses are more equipped for that kind of thing. But
there's the wildfires.
yeah, I'm like,
mudslides.
fuck no. Like,
Yeah.
I am staying on as close to solid ground as possible.
Yeah. Surround me with concrete.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, I mean, God forbid this the big one happens before this comes out, and we get a weird like, oh man,
Oh,
like
God, we
this is eerie timing. Yeah. But then like people have been here for like their whole lives or whatever. Like, yeah, whatever, man. Because it's not that it's a guarantee, right? It's just that the probability of it increases or something like that, right? Something like that. Like, it's just that it's bound to probably happen because of just time and how Earth works. That right? Shall we change the subject?
The more we talk about, the more I'm getting scared. I'm like, I'll tell you, like one of the worst things I did to prep for like if there was ever a terrible earthquake was like, oh, I guess I should have some like food set aside, nearby, because I thought I'm like, most likely if a big one's gonna happen, I'm gonna be at my desk. So probably the best thing to do is go immediately under my desk.
Yeah.
So I should have maybe some food there.
Right.
I just bought like cans of Chef Boyardee.
Okay.
And then I realized I'm like, oh yeah, these expire, so I have to eat them. Like they say, like you should have like an emergency pack.
Yeah, right.
And like those are legit. Those will have rations in there that won't expire for a long time.
Right.
And I haven't done that, but I just thought I'll just get cans of Chef Boyardee and leave them under my desk.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I looked at them, I'm like, oh, these are gonna expire.
I gotta eat Chef Boyardee.
I gotta eat.
Yeah, that's kind of a whole thing, like of like what do you call it? Like people who do a lot of disaster prep. Like it's a lot of you kind of have to cycle stuff out, right?
Yeah.
Like, which is interesting. It's probably smart, but
yeah, keep your shoes near your bed, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I don't know any of the fucking. What are the things?
I wouldn't know. I just said like instincts are. I don't know. To have a pair. Of shoes
as grim as it is, I thought it was just kind of like, well, when it happens, and we're just gonna have to see. As much prep as you can do. It's like, well, and we can change the subject if you're getting kind of about it, but like sometimes like wow, what if we're driving and it happens?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think was driving one time and we had like a small one. I didn't feel it.
Okay. So maybe it's not a big deal. I mean, for the big one, it might. Anyway, why don't you pick a different one? Unless you want to keep talking about the deadly potential.
No, it's fine. I'm like, it's grim.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Right.
Another one I thought was grim. It's like, would you rather lose your sight or lose your hearing?
Yeah. Sometimes that one will come up and like, I feel like it's a little hard to answer that because there are people who
It kind of seems insensitive.
Yeah, it feels a little insensitive. I'm not saying you're I'm not trying to fault you or anything, but it's something that I've kind of thought about. Yeah, like people really do have they lose their sight and stuff, and
yeah.
So but I guess if I'm just thinking about the question, I think I would rather lose my hearing, just because I think a lot of stuff is visual for me, and I like being able to see visual mediums and stuff.
Right.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think just for me, because just creating art and stuff.
Right.
But
Yeah.
don't want it to happen.
Right. I guess I could fight this guy.
Yeah, fight him, punch him, hit him. All right, I have a nicer one.
Sure. Would you rather drown or burn to death?
Yeah.
No, what?
Pokemon Red or Blue?
Oh, red. Easy.
Yeah.
Which is funny because my favorite color is blue.
It's funny because I think I like blue. I like blue more than red, but I got red. I didn't choose. I think I wanted either of the Pokemon games, and I was gifted red, and my brother was gifted blue.
For me, I just like Charizard better. And then for me, it's like the games kind of make it like that red is the more canon one. So I always kind of felt like, yeah, I want the one that is the actual, you know.
Because like gold is like second gen red, ruby obviously.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, Ruby is a little different because they don't name the characters or. Well, I guess they don't name them after Gen 1, the thing, but.
What do you mean, the trainers?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, because they're not named Ruby and Sapphire.
Right. In the manga, I think they are, but. Well, because I don't know, but Silver's name is still Silver.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think after that game is when
Gold becomes like, was it like Ethan or something?
Yeah, Ethan and Lyra and Chris. Are their names. But yeah, Pokemon Red. I like Charizard. It always just, I don't know. What is funny because I love blue, so you would think.
Right. I think I was more as like, what's your favorite colors? By God, which game did you like gravitate towards more?
After a certain point, I stopped being able to choose because it was whichever one Anne-Marie didn't want, which I'm fine with.
That's very team player.
Although we bought the double pack for Scarlet Violet, and she has not played it. I think at this rate she's never gonna play it, so I can probably just pick whichever one I want.
Too busy with
Baldur's Gate
or
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls, yeah. I almost said like Witch's Brew.
I love Witch's Brew.
Okay, well that was an episode of This or That.
This or That. I guess think of the next gimmick for next time.
Wait, I do?
Yeah, it's got to be you.
I thought it's your turn.
No, I'm not thinking of shit. You got to do it. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.